Hello, Peter. Really appreciate you taking time out of your day to join me here for this interview. How are you doing?
I am pretty good. I can't say I've ever done an interview before, so yeah, this is the first.
Cool. Hopefully, you'll feel comfortable during this. The reason I invited you on is because I saw a win from you in the copywriting campus. Could you explain what that was about?
Well, over the last, I would say, 8 days from the start of February, I have had three wins, slightly over 4K. So yeah, those came from a website rewrite, and then two email sequences.
Okay. That's a very cool accomplishment. 4.3K in 8 days, to be exact. Uh, how did things begin for you? How much copywriting experience did you actually have before joining the real world?
I had zero experience. I joined the real world probably about 6 months ago, somewhere in around then. I came in with no experience, and honestly, probably like a lot of the other people who are in the campus, I had my doubts before joining. I was like, is this legit? Is it not? And then I seen a video, and it was Tate saying like, "This is the price of lunch. Lunch. I'm not gonna scam you out of lunch. Just what's the worst that could happen?" And after I seen that video, I was like, right, okay, I'll go. What's the worst that could happen? I was hungry to learn a way to make money, so I was just working a pretty dead end job. So I joined. The copywriting campus took my eye because it was low time, or apologies, it was low money investment. But if you had a lot of time, that was the campus for you. And I was like, right, I don't have a lot to invest. I can't hop into crypto at the minute, but I can hop into copywriting. So I started doing that. And then the funny thing is, it took me about 5 months before I started seeing any real success. And then after that, it kind of just skyrocketed. I mean, it went from just over 1K in December, under 2K in January, and now to 4.3K in 8 days in February.
Mhm. How many hours were you putting in during those 5 months? Why do you think it took you that amount of time? Because for some people, for some people I've interviewed, they've got it within a few weeks or in a month. So, what was your situation there?
My situation, honestly, was commitment wise, I just didn't have that amount of time. And again, when it comes to copywriting and learning a new skill, I struggled with, okay, I'm putting in time here, but I'm not getting anything back for the first while. And that's going to be natural with any skill that anyone really chooses to learn. So I nearly quit like twice. I would take a week break, I would come back, I'd be like, okay, maybe I'll try this again. And eventually, around, I would say November, just before I started making money, I that's when I took it serious. So I mean, if people are going to take it serious from day one, I've seen guys go in there and within 6 weeks they've made 2K.
Mhm. And what does your average day look like now compared to before you joined the real world?
So before it was either work or school. I was still actually in school, and yeah, university just wasn't for me. I seen everyone else going off, and even my parents, like a lot of the guys in there, they're getting pressured by, family or friends to go to uni, to party, to live that type of lifestyle. But for me, I looked around, I seen it, even a lot of local business owners that are very successful, say doing 1, 2 million a year. And I realized that most of them did not go to university or college if you're American. Most of them got out and got real world experience. They learned a high income skill. and they added value to marketplace and then blew up over 10, 15 years owning a business. But again, for me, that was a wee bit of a challenge because I didn't know, okay, where do I go from here? I want to do this. I want to one day own a business, be financially free, live the type of lifestyle that you see, people like Tate living. And the only problem was I didn't know the steps to take. It was just the plan that I didn't have. So the real world, after I joined that, it gave me that plan. And then now my day, I would say I wake up at about 6:30. I work out for the first hour. If I've been going hard for a few days, I'll go for a walk instead in the morning or, read or whatever. But most of the time it's workout. After I work out, it's shower and then straight into copywriting. Andrew lays it out in the campus, and Chief, an old apprentice, said the exact same thing in terms of, it's good to get your deep work done first thing in the morning, early in the morning, knock it out 2 or 3 hours. So that's what I do. And then the rest of my day is kind of filled with like things like prospecting or replying to emails or work that doesn't really take a lot of brain power. So yeah, I would say deep work for the first 4 hours of the day, 3 to 4 hours. After that, I take my first meal, breakfast, at around 10, 11, 12. And then the rest of my day is filled with doing stuff that don't take as much brain power. And then in the evenings, I do have training, either MMA or football.
Mm-hmm. What would you say to people who would call that excessive? Because it just seems like you're working and working out. So working financially and then working out your body, just day in and day out. So what's your perspective there?
Yeah, I was actually speaking to an apprentice, Nikolai, who you've had on. I watched his interview. It's an amazing one. And I was talking to him over his emails about the excessive, working, sleeping, training, and that's it. And he was giving me some advice like, yo, man, you need to get out there, go on some adventures, because it'll actually improve your work. But yeah, as of now, I mean, when you're working and you're seeing crazy, crazy results, then it's just fuel. There is no motivation. There's no, struggling to get out of bed in the morning or things like that. It's go, go, go because you're seeing the results right away. After, for me, after my 5 months of work, I'm in the stage now where I'm seeing results essentially once a week or every few days. So that's just inspiring. And then on top of that, of course, you have client deadlines. Work has to be in on time, and if you take the work on, you have to honor your word, and you have to fulfill it by the deadline. So yeah, that's definitely a big part of why I keep going, because I know that, right, this project needs to be done by then.
Mm-hmm. Right. Now, going more into the real world, how different would you say the material is compared to what you can find outside of the platform?
Well, I, for one, after I joined the real world and started digesting all the information and learning a lot more, I decided to go and scour the internet to see if I could find anything else that would help me on my journey. And after I browsed, I mean, Reddit, some courses which I may or may not have got for free, and a few other things. I mean, the information, it's they give you the information in parts. You might get a wee bit here, a wee bit there, but there's not a clear plan. With the real world, it's like, okay, specifically in the copywriting campus, it's send out your 20, 30, 40 outreaches a day. write your free value, practice 1 hour of copy, and the list goes on. And essentially that boils down to, right, every day you know exactly what to do. It's being exactly laid out for you. You've learned it in the, even things like learning it in the right order. I mean, Andrew, our professor, he's absolutely incredible. And I mean, as a verified millionaire and a world-class copywriter, he lays it out exactly in the way that he would do it if he was starting again. And then on top of all of that, which is, the plan and the content, you also get the mindset. There's so many small, valuable things that Andrew shared with the campus and that people are discussing every day that, okay, without those little key bits of information, I wouldn't have had the success I've had in terms of, your time management, discipline, the way to handle clients, sales, how to keep yourself motivated, how to trigger energy. All these things are talked about in detail. So that's helped big time.